It's time to sit back, relax, get your mind on track. You are now listening to Palmer's Podcast. We can talk about it, it don't matter what it is. Any topic, when we talk about it, everybody wins. If we all work together, we'll figure out a plan. Be the helping hand, always do everything that we can. In the end, everything will turn out right. Let's get the podcast started with Palmer up on the mic.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nick with Palmer's Podcast. As always, I'm live in the UB studio, produced by DJ Parker. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Have him holler from across the room. Hey, guys, this podcast is it's for anybody who is an entrepreneur or not, any individual who's tired of listening to the lies that society and other negative people and basic people around them tell them that they can't or shouldn't be what they want to be. Excuse me. No matter what that is. And so, you know, I've never done a podcast before. I don't have a guest tonight. This is just kind of a Tuesday turbulence, if you will. But the point of this podcast is to just kind of share where I'm at and kind of be vulnerable and discuss real life topics and real life issues that I deal with on a daily basis. And hopefully, and I'm sure that there's a network of people out there who can relate to that. I also know there's a network of people who don't. And I guess I should just start off again by clarifying that this podcast is not for everyone. Okay, this podcast is probably leaning more towards people who are into self-development, who are into changing the patterns of what they've always done or the environment they've put themselves in and the people they put themselves around. Not that they don't love those people, but maybe they see that, you know, I might not be getting where I want to be if I keep associating with certain folks or certain environments all the time or whatever. You know, so if this podcast, man, by now, you probably figured out this podcast is for you or not. So if it's not, quit listening. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, this podcast isn't for people who want to sit on the couch and eat cheeseburgers and not work, be comfortable all the time, have everybody patting them on the back, telling them everything's going to be okay, because, you know, in reality, it's not just going to be okay if you don't get off your ass and do something with your life. I found out the hard way. And maybe this podcast or something that comes off of this podcast will get people to relate and maybe say, you know what, I don't have to keep doing what I've been doing and getting what I keep getting. In all kinds of areas. So the first thing I like to talk about is something that I was thinking about today, and that's avoiding and eliminating interactions with negative people. Guys, look, from my experience, those are the people that were closest to me, man. You know, those were the people that were in my corner sometimes or looked like they were in my corner. But when I really started dissecting things, man, it just wasn't reality. It wasn't working. And, you know, I take ownership of that. The second thing is humility. And, you know, I think there's a misconception with humility that if you're humble or have humility, that means you're meek or quiet all the time and just kind of go with the flow and just, you know, if you make an accomplishment, you're not supposed to celebrate that. You know, I think that's bullshit. I think you're supposed to celebrate accomplishments. I think you got about a 24-hour period to celebrate those accomplishments, but I don't think they shouldn't be celebrated. And I don't think somebody who's celebrating an accomplishment they worked hard for and sacrificed for and worked their ass off for, I think they should celebrate that. I think they've earned that right. You know, I've always lived my life thinking, I don't know, that I shouldn't celebrate that stuff because it makes me look arrogant or makes me look cocky or makes me look like I think I'm better than people. And that's just not true, you know. I got a 24-hour rule. I celebrate for 24 hours after an accomplishment and I move on. You know, I quit talking about the high school football days all the time, and because nobody really gives a shit, man. Nobody cares. And I always thought that made me who I was. Like anybody cared about what I did last week or last year or 15 years ago. But no, I think what humility really means is that I know and I fully understand that I'm not where I want to be. I'm not as good as I want to be. So therefore, it makes me and forces me to stay teachable. I think that you have to be willing to look at that. You have to be willing to say, hey, look, I'm not shit right now. So it's going to take a lot of work to get to where I want to be. As far as, business and life is concerned. Accomplishing goals, man. And that doesn't always mean it's materialistic goals. It could be, for me, it could be anything. It can be a better person, be a better, friend, be a better son, be a better cousin, be a better whatever, better employee, a better business owner. But I think another part of that is I have to be willing to outwork everybody in the room. So I think as long as I stay humble, that means it's a mindset. That means I know that I'm not where I want to be yet, and I'm not as good as I need to be. So I need to shut up sometimes and be teachable. Surround myself with positive people who are doing things with their life, people who are running businesses, people who are being good fathers, being good significant others, even good boyfriends, good men, and I think that's kind of what I was thinking about today when it came to humility, because I kept hearing people say, well, that guy's not very humble. And all the guy was doing was saying, hey, man, I busted my ass for 2 years on this project and it finally popped off, and he was having a little celebration. He was having some drinks with some friends and celebrating that. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion, but I'm not saying I know everything either. And the other one is, I have to stay uncomfortable. I lived my whole life where I was comfortable, where the path of least resistance, if you will, and that about killed me, man. Straight up about killed me. I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing. I was treating people ways I shouldn't have been treating them to make myself feel better, to make myself feel comfortable. I had a ton of freaking, I can't find the word for it. I had a ton of insecurity, man. And that's just me being real. Like, I didn't like who I was. So therefore, everyone else paid the price around me. And it all stemmed because I had to be comfortable. I had to be in my little comfort zone. And that's bullshit. The only way that I'm going to grow is to get out of that, out of my comfort zone. Seek challenges. Seek the path of most resistance, I guess. But I don't know. I think that some of us, including myself, we get in this mode of where we just get used to doing nothing and expecting the world to give us things. And I think that society as a whole is starting to kind of lean that way. And it's hurting people. There's people out here struggling because they think that's the way to live. And, next thing you know, they're sucking on the end of a gun because things aren't really working out how they thought they were. Well, no shit, man. You're not working for it. You're not sacrificing. You're not grinding. You're not out here working your ass off and putting your head down and doing what you need to do. You're not skipping the birthday party at the bar. You're not skipping this thing that you always did before. And I'm not sitting here saying I'm perfect either. I'm saying that I skip more things now than I used to. And hopefully, as time goes on, I'll start getting my priorities more in line with that. And if I don't, I'll pay for it. Just like everyone else pays for it when they don't do it. So I don't know. I'm not up here trying to be like I know everything. But those are just some topics today, man. I was at work and I was thinking about, and I was like, you know what? I probably should drop it on a podcast. And it might not have came off right. Might not have came off how I wanted it to. But, that's kind of what I was thinking about because, man, I'm so sick and tired of myself believing comments, suggestions, criticism from people who aren't doing a damn thing. They're doing the same shit they were doing last year, and the year before that, and the year before that. or trying to throw some belief at me that I don't necessarily have to believe. I think all those things tie in together as this stuff I've been conditioned to think, and what I have to do is break those patterns of thinking and action, and my actions have to change. And until they do that, nothing's going to change. You know, Andy Frisella sent me, I got an email from Andy Frisella list, and it says, I get asked all the time, what do I do if I become successful and lose all my friends? His answer is this: you have to worry about you. You have to realize that you came in this life alone and you're going out alone. The only way you're going to feel good about your life is by doing the best you possibly can for yourself. You can't worry about what anyone is going to think about you or say about you when you're on that journey. The truth is, the people you hang out with right now are not going to relate to you the same way forever. They're going to perceive you as a different person. That's because you will be a different person. You're going to lose people. Some are going to fall off, start to not like you, be jealous, and talk shit. They don't hate you. They just hate themselves because they won't do what you did. But as you get further down the road, progress, and become the person you desperately want to be, you're going to form new relationships that will help you push forward. These relationships are so much more fulfilling because they are aligned with what you want out of your life. In the beginning, you have to be patient. Trust yourself and your dreams. Only then will the right relationships materialize that will help you push forward instead of hold you back. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I listen to this dude all the time, and he talks about some really good stuff. And, I totally believe in that. And sometimes I can read things that kind of say it better than what I think, and that was just one example. Talk about it or be about it. It's like every Monday he sees a motivation post, after every motivation post, after every motivation post. Some people who look the same, earn the same, and are the same, week after week after week. Most people do the same shit they did last week, last month, and last year, but they expect things to get better. Well, here's the truth. If you're going through your life with your head stuck in the sand like an ostrich, nothing's going to change. But Andy, I'm trying my best. Are you? Instead of talking about it, how about you go be about it? Step up and do what you know needs to be done. You are capable. So that's my message, man. You are capable. You're capable of being whatever you want to be. You're capable of running a business. You're capable of being a good father, being a good wife, being a good mother, being a good boyfriend, girlfriend, uncle, aunt, whatever. And quit believing bullshit people tell you that you can't. Love you guys. I'm done.
Step right up, who's next in line? I got them hot dogs cooking, it's about that time. I got everything you need, if you're hungry come and eat. From Detroit to Chicago, you can find me in the streets. I'll be hooking up the meats, I'm just trying to do my small part. My name's Nick, come and get it at the dog cart. You can find me anywhere, online, my website's nicksdogcart.com. You can call me on the phone, you don't ever have to wait. 260-330-3498. So if you're hungry, come and get you a plate. I'll hook you up and the food's great. Go ahead and check the menu. Our dogs come in all different styles, and we'll go the extra mile to give you service with a smile. Great food, low prices, you know how we do it. So come and see me and be a part of the movement.